Come on, you've had me shaking this about like a wally for a couple of minutes. Are we going to get some paint on this car?
Well, I think you're shaking it enough, but same rules apply. You've got to shake the tin for at least 2 minutes. Right, okay. We've got enough shaking. Let's put some paint on. Same as what we did with the primer, right? Build up the coats gradually. Don't try and get everything on all at once. Biggest mistake. I'll show you some examples of that later.
Not on the car,
Not
please.
on the car, not on the car.
Before you do all the car, are you going to let me risk a bit?
Can if you want. You want to take on that section there when I finish this one. Just hold the can about the same distance away from the job that I'm doing.
It's about what, that far?
Yeah, roughly 12 inches-ish.
12 inches, that far? How's that?
That's okay.
But I've got to hit the car?
Yeah, put it on the job. A little bit slower. That's it. Again, same rules apply, just like we did with the primer. Let's go and have a cup of tea and let some of that solvent flash off before we try and load any more paint onto it. We don't want it to run or sag.
Right, that was a great pot of tea, Dave. Come on, let's get it finished. On we go.
Take your time, John, take your time. Don't forget, it's easier to put more on. It's extremely difficult to take off paint, especially when it's wet. Okay. Right? We'll put all this work into it. Don't fall at the final hurdle, right? Do you want to do the same again? I'll do this side.
Yeah,
I'll do that one. When we put this coat on, I think it's probably enough. What you can do for a really, really professional finish is do the same thing again. Leave it 24 hours and rub this down and apply yet another coat of colour. You don't have to do it, it's not absolutely essential, but it's just another thing that you can do that will give you an absolutely superb finish. Looks like a nice job there, John.
Well, thank you very much.
Just a little word of safety. Paints obviously contain volatile solvents. What you should be aiming to do is either spray the car outside, right? If you're going to spray it in your garage, which would be slightly easier because there'd be less wind, just make sure that it's well ventilated and that you're not in an enclosed, confined space breathing all these vapours. As I said earlier, we've generally reduced the amount of volatile organic compounds that are in there, but still, it's better off to play safe.
Right, so you'd be leaving in between coats, you'd be going out to the garage?
Oh yeah.
Leaving the door open, that sort of thing?
Yeah, there's nothing that you can do in between coats anyway, really, you know, and it removes that temptation to go putting more paint on and just ruining the job. So yeah, leave it in between coats. Right,
let's leave it alone for a little bit.
Okay.
We'll finish it off in a minute. That all looked very easy. I'm sure there must be some problems that occur when you're putting paint on.
There are some problems. We've got one or two of them here to show you. This is one that we come up against quite a lot. As you can see, there's sags in the paint down here, and obviously down here there's runs. Quite simply, too much paint on at once. Right? Can held too close. You can get that if you hold the can too close. You remember we were talking about 12 inches maybe? And also if you move it across the job too slowly, that can happen. Or if you just simply don't let your coats dry in between applications, you can get that sort of effect. And it's a disaster because there's nothing you can do about it apart from wait for the paint to dry and then get your wet and dry paper out and just start all over again. You've got to rub these sags out. You can't pick up a piece of tissue and wipe them out.
Right, what we're doing, 24 hours, 48 hours?
Yeah, another 24 hours. You know, it just puts another 24 hours onto your job, really, just for a few moments of carelessness or not observing the things that we've been talking about today.